Hi, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. I do thank you for tuning in. I certainly hope that peace and blessings have been upon you this day. Now, we are going to move right along in Poem Praise 2. That's my channel. Just wanted to know if you was listening. We're going to move right along in How to Eat to Live. And this chapter is Know the Truth About the Flesh of the Swine. And it goes like this. In an earlier chapter of this book, I told you how Allah taught me about the birth of the swine, and that this animal was made only for the whites, because theirs is a grafted race. They were made weaker physically through the man from whom they came, the black man. Since the body of the grafted is weaker than the original body, it would be easier for them to attract germs than the original man. You should not argue with me about this, because all of the diseases that trouble us today, from social disease to cancer, came from the white race, one way or the other. Now, do not tell me about 400 or 500 years or 1,000 years. I am referring to this people's entire historical scope. They have had 6,000 years to mix with and poison our people. Some of you are foolish enough to accept all the blame, but God clears you of it. This refers to those who love the devil so much that they would like to dispute God about them. I am only teaching you the truth. Take it or leave it is what you can do. I added that is what you can do. That's not in the book, but I'm certainly telling you, hey, you could take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? Let me continue on with what's in the book. They are too wise to dispute the truth. Read the story in the Bible in which Jesus met a man who was possessed of evil spirits. When the evil spirits recognized Jesus to be from God, knowing they would have no chance to contend with him over their presence in the man where they did not belong, they pleaded with Jesus to let them go into the swine. And Jesus agreed. The man who was possessed of evil spirits was none other than the American so-called Negro. The evil spirits in him are from the white race, who made him eat the divinely prohibited flesh of the swine. The devils were allowed to go into the swine. They ran down a steep place into a lake or a sea and perished. Yeah, remember I told you about this little story that just came up? Told you that? If you listen to some other chapters that I have here on Poem Praise 2. Yes, I'll certainly let you know about this after the spirits went into the swine, and all of a sudden all the swine, they couldn't take it and they committed suicide. Peep that right there. Steep place into a lake or sea and perished. My. Now here the picture changes. The meaning changes a bit. The hog was made for the white race for medical purposes, not even for them to eat. but they could eat it if they wanted to, since they were created to be destroyed. They use this hog in much of their medical preparation. Even in the German 606 poisonous germ. Allah taught me that one of these germs came from the swine. However, the white man will advise you to eat it. He would have you think the swine is cleaner than he was in Jesus' time. But wouldn't God know 4,000 years from Moses if this swine would be clear of poison? You admit God is a foreknower. The whole story was twisted around. They want you to think God did not know about this process of the devils leaving the man and entering the swine until after it happened. Actually, God knew it was going to happen before it took place. Using deceit, they have succeeded in getting you to eat the swine as food, though it was made to produce a poisonous germ for medical purposes and curing the disease of the white race. This is how he makes you break all of the commandments of God. Because he is God's enemy and yours and mine, he has you break the divine law. We did this because we saw him doing it, and at that time had no teacher of our own. Those are the tricks of your hidden enemies and their own concocted religion called Christianity, which is deceiving and leading you to your doom with them. I am your brother, and Allah has revealed to me the truth for your salvation. Jesus also prophesied that the truth would free you. That is, if you accept the truth. The thing you must understand in this parable of Jesus is that actually the visible swine could not have gone crazy and choked in the sea or lake because the spirit of the devil was sent in them. The true meaning that you should understand is the swine that was choked to death in the sea after the spirit of the devil was taken out of the man represents the believers among the so-called American Negroes. And the swine that ran into the lake and perished represents the disbelievers among the so-called American Negroes who refuse to accept the truth. They are so obsessed with the evil doings of the devil, they will not accept their own salvation and will be choked into hell fire with the devils. As you have in the Bible, Lucifer's, Yakub, fall also represents the fall of his race. The lake or sea in which they choked and perished in the same lake mentioned in the Revelations of John, that all that had the mark of the beast, the representatives of the beast and the false prophets, priests and preachers of Christianity, referred to as being cast alive in a lake of fire. I hope you understand why I'm trying to get over. Let me repeat that again. I hope you understand what I am trying to get over is that you who reject Allah and his true religion, entire submission to his will, as the Arabs call it, Islam, will perish in a lake of fire with the race of the adversaries of Allah and his true religion, to which they refuse to submit. They now are trying to woo you into sharing hellfire with them, though they know that you have a chance to go to heaven while they do not. I cannot force you to halt your downhill plunge with them into the lake of fire. I have been missioned only to warn you in the simplest language. I cannot force you to go to hell or heaven. Your sweethearting and wanting to marry them is like a frog trying to court a rattlesnake. The rattlesnake gives the frog freedom to do so because he intends to swallow the frog. Sound like a setup, don't it? Taking the death-dealing pill and a knife to destroy your future generations are examples. Socializing with them is no sign of justice, but a sign that they have deceived you into going to hell with them. Take it or leave it. Now, that does complete this chapter of Know the Truth about the flesh of the swine. So hopefully that was a food for thought, food for your mind. It's certainly going to help out your body, your internal, by what you have received on this plate externally. All right, so certainly ponder that and digest it in regards to what I just let you know the truth about the flesh of the swine. Certainly stay tuned to Poem Praise 2, our next chapter that I will be having for you, if it be in thy will for the future, is live 1,000 years. Not 100. I said 1,000 years. That's going to be tomorrow, so I want you to have a wonderful rest of the evening, and peace be upon you and also upon your family. Okay? And I will be hollering at y'all a little later, y'all. All right now.